Today's May 15th, 2017. It's the Investitude podcast. John's in the office today. It's Monday.
Cinco de Mayo times 3.
Oh, is that what it is? Speaking of Cinco de Mayo, there was a thing I watched on the Chicago thing.
Yep.
This guy passed out in River North at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Let me tell you something.
Right? The lady came
Happens
up.
all the time.
Security guard came up and said, dude, says, you can't sleep here. Sir, you can't. She's out there with a bucket to clean up his puke. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He stands up, wobbles around, and punches her in the face.
Yep.
Like broke her face and her nose.
I saw the video. It was horrible.
Whooped on her ass. I mean, River North. I mean, come on.
It was one punch. It was a good right. I give him credit because I didn't think he could even stand up looking at him.
Well,
but he stood up and then gave her a right cross.
Guess what happened?
Well, and they got it all on film, and it's looking right at his face. How do they not arrest him already?
Yeah, and then they blocked out his face. Don't get me started. They blocked out his face. I said, if you have any information, I'm like, well, unblock his face.
Yeah, let's start with that.
Dumbass. So anyway, now they've got a GoFundMe for her.
For her?
Yeah, somebody
good.
In the
Well,
building.
for her is good.
She's up to like $3,000 or something. It's like $5,000. But anyway, I was just like, wow. Just like from zero to...
Because she's not a cop, right? She's just a security guard.
Yeah, and she had the bucket out cleaning up his puke. Anyway.
It was out in front of a nightclub, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. I looked it up. It's on like Franklin Street in Orleans or... I don't know. I don't even know what the hell is down there anymore. It's all these infidels coming into the neighborhood. Speaking of infidels coming into the neighborhood...
Jeez.
Killer
in the house.
What is your Twitter address now? The Killer just stopped by here. Let me give you
Jeff
the mic.
Kilberg.
Hello, Mr. Coffee. At Jeff Kilberg is the Twitter handle.
JEFF.
And happy to be in the house with Dr. J on this fine Monday. New all-time highs, Doc.
New all-time highs for the market. Killer, one of your and my favorite guys, Larry Kudlow.
Yes, the best.
I was on Larry's show this weekend with Charlie Gasparino, of all people. And love Charlie. I know there's bad blood with CNBC.
Charlie's great.
But not with me, and certainly not with Killer.
Nope.
Charlie's a good guy. One of the best financial reporters out there, but he's got a lot of haters over at CNBC, and maybe he deserves it. I'm not judging. I'm just saying I have a good time whenever I'm with Charlie.
Agreed.
And what Larry wanted to talk with Charlie and I about was all these guys, Killer, keep talking about, oh, the Trump rally's over. The Trump rally's over. It's already reversed and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what planet are you guys living on? I looked at Caterpillar coffee. It's up like 24%. John Deere up 27%. Cummins up 25, 26%. These are all from the election through now. Why the election through now? Because from the night of the election, they could have gone up or down. And I'm not saying all of them would have gone down if Hillary was elected, but, stocks were doing what they were doing, and those stocks are all up. Goldman's up 25%. JP Morgan's up 27%. I mean, tell me again, were they supposed to be up 50% by now?
Right.
We're 6 months after, so let's say 8 months after the election. Are they supposed to be up 50%, Killer?
Well, what's sensational, Doc, to your point, you have seen tremendous Trump rally. And even this weekend, let's use this weekend for an example. We had a missile launch from North Korea.
Yep.
We had a cyber attack.
Mm-hmm.
And on top
biggest ever cyber attack.
Biggest ever. And on top of that, we just move forward. We have S&P at new all-time highs. The
VIX is at what? 1037.
It's sensational to see, and I think the market, to your point about all these rallies, look at Apple above 155 still.
Facebook.
Bank of America sitting above 24. I mean, the banks and even crude oil today got a nice little pop from the Russia, the non-OPEC members agreeing to those additional production cuts for another 6 months. So OPEC is happy about that because we can talk later about the Aramco IPO that they based
$2 trillion.
But nonetheless, the market continues to be patient and optimistic, and that is in the face of 0 on the scoreboard for the Trump policies. He hasn't really delivered something. So it is interesting the market doesn't care.
Yep, correct. I mean, we've got the VIX moving at the smallest rate since it's been listed because you can go back and do back testing and see where the VIX was 50 years ago, and estimate what the S&P 500 was 50 years ago and all that kind of stuff. But simple fact is, even today when we're up 87 points, that's 0.4% for the Dow. The S&P 500 is up 0.4%. That's a VIX killer of 7.
Yes, and that's one of the biggest moves. If you
A
look
real VIX.
at the close of last Friday, you looked at 13 consecutive trading days where the S&P 500 didn't move more than 20 basis points. That's the tightest range. That 13, 14-day snapshot was all inside of 101 basis points. That's the tightest range we've seen ever. Let me say that again. Ever. So
Yep.
right now we do seem poised, and we've talked about it a little bit on the CME group, the trade examples about being long straddles here. The market seems to be poised to make a move. Now, we don't always want to bet on direction, right? So the straddle allows us to capture either a 2% up move or a down move. But right now, the market seems so coiled.
Yep. Couldn't agree more, Killer. And by the way, folks, Jeff's right. If you get a chance, check out our video that we do every week. We'll be taping it tomorrow.
Striking options.
Striking Options. Killer's the host over at the CME. And that's going to be a fun time. And then, Andrew, we'll talk more later in the week about what exactly it means for if the Trump agenda gets pushed off till next year, could be the mother of all rallies in 2018.
What I did want to say was those production over at the CME on those videos is pretty nice, by the way, on that CME stuff.
Yeah, CME, whether it's Mark Omans or Paul or Samira. They have a bunch of great people, and including, I guess I should throw a shout out to, what's his name? Terry Duffy, the CME's CEO. But also the guy that I'm in the studio with in New York, Killer.
At the NYMEX.
Yeah, Brian Radigan.
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, are you Dylan Radigan's cousin or something?
That's great.
Says,
well, they have a first-class staff over there, and they have a first-class studio, and it's second to none. So the Striking Options show, we're having a lot of fun.
We might use that new studio tomorrow, Killer.
Yeah.
They've got 2 studios at the NYMEX. One, the one I've been in.
You're in New
all
York
this time.
tomorrow?
Yep, I'm in New York tomorrow. So the one I'm normally at, I might go in the one next door. It's got a cooler board, a different look. So we'll see. But we'll put up a trade there tomorrow, and Andrew can link to it.
Definitely check it out. We talk every week about market sentiment. I'm looking for Doc's insight, perspective, and we also provide a couple trade examples. So if you're looking to learn about options as well as futures, derivatives in general, that is the place to go and spend 4 quality minutes.
All right. Well, Killer, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, Doc, always great to be here. Coffee, thanks for having me, bud.
We'll have to have Jeff come up when he can, up off the floor.
Yeah.
Do some podcasts.
And I got to go check and see how much money this lady's getting off of
off of her GoFundMe account.
getting knocked out.
Remember, folks, you can always subscribe through iTunes or YouTube. Leave a comment, and as often as we can on Fridays, we'll answer your questions. Thanks for tuning in.